Hello everybody! Welcome back to my channel and to one of my videos. So I'm going to be talking about 4 different categories of stuff that I watched. The first one will be non-horror shows. The second one will be non-horror movies. The third will be horror shows. And then the fourth will be horror movies. See, I'm going to start off with non-horror and then horror. Got it? I needed to rewatch some of my comfort shows. Those mental health what? Alright, let's start off by getting some non-horror out of the way, shall we? I was super behind in RuPaul's Drag Race, so I caught up in a few of those seasons. And then I also caught up in RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. Season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars really made me emotional because it had 3 of my favorite winners of all time in that season. Ooh, I was crying a lot in some of those episodes. I am a big drag queen fan. If you have a problem with that, you can go. Bye.
There's the door. There's the door!
I mean, I'm not going to be talking about drag queens on this channel anyways, but if you have a problem with me because I like drag queens, then you can definitely leave. But disclaimer, this is not a drag queen channel or anything, it's just a personal thing that I like to watch. So yeah. We are going to move on now to the next non-horror show that I watched, and that would be Love is Blind. The show is a mess. I do not recommend it, but oh my gosh. Okay, Love is Blind is a reality show about people who go in these rooms and they talk to each other through a wall, and they're supposed to talk for like a limited amount of days. And if they fall in love with a particular person, with the other person from the other side of the wall, then they propose to them. And then after they propose, they get married in about 4 weeks. And right after they propose, they get to see what the other person looks like. Do you see how the show's messy? It's fun. It's fun though, okay? Let's move on, shall we? Okay. The last non-horror show that I watched this month was Doctor Who. And you can't really see it, but I wore my, alright, you see that? This is my Doctor Who shirt.
Are you my mommy?
No mommy's here.
I haven't seen any of the new ones, so I thought I should probably rewatch the show because I probably won't really know what's going on right now. Doctor Who is about an alien who is called a Time Lord. That's what his species is called. Or actually, their species, since currently he is a woman now. So a Time Lord is an alien who can regenerate, which basically means that if he gets injured, or if he or she gets injured, I'm gonna use they them pronouns for the Doctor. For the longest time, they were a man, and then recently they turned into a girl. So now, I don't want to keep saying he and she, I'm just gonna say they them. To the point where their life is on the line, they can regenerate, which changes their face, their entire body, like their genetic identity, whatever this is called, all of this changes. It's still the same person, it's just they look completely different. Their name is the Doctor. So it's not really a name, that's just what you call them. So the Doctor travels through time and space, and all they do really is save the world. That's basically what the Doctor does. Also, the Doctor has companions along the way. 99% of the time, the Doctor's companions are human. The Doctor favors humans. My next non-horror show that I watched this past month is actually Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you did not notice, I watch anime. It's on my YouTube channel. Avatar: The Last Airbender is about a kid who is the Avatar, which is a person who can bend all elements. So they can control earth, fire, water, air. And in this world, the Avatar is the only person who can do that. There are other people who can bend water, but just water, or bend fire, just fire, or earth and air, but only the Avatar can do all four. And the Avatar that this show is about got frozen in a igloo thing or whatever, and 100 years later, these two kids break him out accidentally. And the Avatar learns that there's been a war going on for 100 years with the Fire Nation against the other three elements. So now the Avatar has to end the war, and he's 12. I was rewatching it, and I didn't realize how short this series was. I literally just started it like days ago, like right at the end of March, and I'm already like episodes away from it being over. It's not that long at all, which is sad. I might just rewatch it again. I mean, if you like anime and you haven't heard of this show, I highly recommend it. I love it. It's a kid show. It's more on the kid side. It's very, very kiddish, but I love it. It's a great show. I'm gonna just point out Toph, icon.
What's this? I don't know! I'm blind!
Now for my non-horror movies that I watched in March. And I only watched one non-horror movie in the last month. That non-horror movie is The Wonder. And I mainly watched it because Florence Pugh is in it. I really like Florence. The Wonder is about an English nurse who is brought out to the Irish common lands. I can't remember what the name of the town is, but she's called out there because there is a young girl who has not eaten in months, and she's been surviving. So the doctor, the nurse, I keep calling her doctor now that I've just talked about Doctor Who, and she's a nurse, not a doctor. Oh my god. So the nurse, which is Florence, gets called out there, as well as a nun, because they would like Florence Pugh's character to watch the girl, and then once her shift is done, the nun watches the girl, so that they can see if any differences change. Has she been eating? What has she been doing? How is she surviving? Yeah, it's really good. It's like a psychological thriller, and there is a twist in it. Like, you're watching it and you're trying to figure out, is this a suspense movie? Is this supernatural? I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it really had me on a ride throughout the movie. Now on to the horror shows, which is one show that I watched, and that would be The Last of Us. Now, The Last of Us isn't like scary or anything. The reason why I put it under the horror show category is mainly because it takes place during the apocalypse, and there's infected running around, eating people, biting people, and people are being killed in this show. So I classify that as like a horror element at least. But it follows a man who has to take this little girl named Ellie to this medical base like on the other side of the country, and as he's taking her on this journey, they enter some complications. And I played the game because this show is based off of the video game The Last of Us that came out in 2013, and I adored the game. It's a favorite game of mine, and I feel that the show lived up to the game very, very well. Like, I was impressed with the show. I highly recommend it, even if you haven't played the game. It totally works for non-gamers too. Now we're moving on to horror movies. Now, first on the list is 47 Meters Down, Uncaged. I actually hadn't seen 47 Meters Down yet. Funny story, I was looking for 47 Meters Down, but I saw Uncaged, and in my mind, Uncaged read as unrated. So I thought, oh, okay, this is the movie, just unrated. 47 Meters Down, Uncaged is technically the sequel to 47 Meters Down, but it has nothing to do with the girls from 47 Meters Down, like at all. It's about these two girls who are stepsisters and they don't really care about each other. They're just like, our parents are married, whatever. So the dad gets her and the sister tickets to go shark watching. They go to do the shark watching thing, and then their friends come and they're like, hey, let's go do something that's cooler than this. And they're like, okay, let's go. And they go to this area where there's like completely no one there, and it's like a really pretty spot to go swimming in. In that area, there's tunnels underwater. In the tunnels underwater, they lead to a city that the Mayans used to live in, apparently. The girls are like, hey, let's go swimming in there and explore. And oh no, there's a shark in there. That's the movie. That's the movie. I very much enjoyed this movie. I think it's because there was a bunch of scenes where it's super suspenseful. It was pretty brutal in some parts. The acting's iffy, but I don't care. It was a fun watch. It was campy. I loved this movie a lot. And I thought it was the actual movie 47 Meters Down. I had no idea. Once I found out that this was not 47 Meters Down like the first one, I went and watched that one next. So that's my next movie, is 47 Meters Down. I watched them backwards on accident, but it doesn't even matter because they have nothing to do with each other. They're just both shark movies. Now, 47 Meters Down is about these two girls that travel to, I think it's Mexico, and they go with these guys to go shark watching, but with this one, they're in a cage and they go underwater to see the sharks swim around them. But the cage is rusty and it breaks and the girls fall 47 meters down. See, the title makes sense for this movie because they are quite literally falling 47 meters down. 47 meters down Uncaged. No one's going 47 meters down anywhere. They just get stuck in the caves with a shark. That's that. So they just wanted to use the title 47 Meters Down. 47 Meters Down, they are stuck down there and they're trying to get out. But I think one of them got injured, so there's blood coming out of them, and there's a shark nearby just kind of chilling until one of them gets out of the cage so it can attack. I enjoyed it. It's a good movie. I liked it. My issue is the end. I didn't like that ending. I wasn't too fond of it. Let's move on. Alright, the next film is Green Room. I watched this film because I heard so many people talking about it and saying it was a great film. I don't know anything about neo-Nazis. I just know they're bad people. So watching this film, I was very confused. I was like, what are they saying? What's going on? What are they doing? What is this place? What happens is this group, who is a band, gets signed on to perform at a neo-Nazi place. And after they perform, one of them catches something that they're not supposed to see. And the group is held in a room. Neo-Nazis are threatening them from the outside and saying like, give us the gun, blah, 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 and we'll let you go. But they're not gonna let them go. I feel like I just need to rewatch it or something because I was just not understanding the whole neo-Nazi thing. Now this next movie I watched is one that I actually really enjoyed, was The Lodge. Yeah, this is a good one. I can't talk too much about this movie either. The Green Room I could have talked a little more about if I understood the neo-Nazi stuff, but the other movies I kind of would spoil things if I talked about them. This is kind of hard. The Lodge is about these two children whose dad sucks. The dad gets a new girlfriend and he wants the kids to go with him and his new girlfriend to a cabin for Christmas. It's Christmas time. And the kids are like, okay, fine. They go to this lodge and the dad gets called into work. So he's like, hey, I'm gonna go do work stuff and I'll be back. And the kids are there with the girlfriend and some stuff goes down. So I would highly recommend watching this movie, The Lodge. It is a Christmas movie, but you don't really notice the Christmas stuff going on, to be honest. It's one of those like yeah, it takes place during Christmas, but Christmas is kind of like in the back of your mind. So I've watched a bunch of 1890s horror films. If you want to know about those films, you can watch my video, Decades of Horror. Next, I watched all the Scream movies because Scream 6 came out. And if you want to know my thoughts on all the Scream movies, I am currently releasing reviews on each movie. Alright, last horror movie on the list that I watched for this month is The Monster. Wow, this movie. This movie has like 2 different stories going on, and I was not a fan of that. So it's about this mother and her child, her daughter, and they have an awful relationship. Like, the mother is very abusive, and she is also an alcoholic, and she's not her best self. And the mom is driving her daughter to go see her dad, who lives in another state, so they just go on this road trip. During the drive, a monster scares a wolf into the street, and the mother and daughter hit the wolf and they crash, and the mother gets injured, and they're waiting for an ambulance and a tow truck to come. And as they're waiting for these things to arrive, there's a monster lurking outside, like an actual monster. As they're showing you like the present day going on, like with them encountering the monster in the woods, they're also showing you flashbacks of the mother being abusive towards her daughter. And I'm just like, so we're trying to say that the monster that's attacking them is the mother in a way, but currently the mother's protecting her daughter. I understand the metaphor here that like there's a monster and the mother is also, she's got a monster within her, but I don't think it worked very well. I don't understand what the point was with combining the 2 stories. It didn't work very well. I feel like they should have just told one of the stories. All right. This concludes all of the movies and shows that I watched in March. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I am so sorry that I suck at giving descriptions of movies. I really hope you enjoyed it, and come back for the next one if you really like this content. Subscribe, like the video, comment. I want to talk to you guys. I love interaction. Bye!